WPSN Africa is a women's Pan-African NGO which is based in Accra and which has offices also in Liberia. In the past also, the organization has done some work in Sierra Leone with the Sierra Leone Armed Forces. We have done some SSR activities. What we did was WPSN Africa has tried to collaborate with the armed forces of Sierra Leone and try to scan the system and try to find out what were some of the gender gap in the machinery. And the result was a fruitful collaboration, and the result was that equal opportunity and office for gender was open within the Sierra Leone Armed Forces. In terms of activities related to gender and SSR, WPSN Africa is currently implementing a two-year project. Which is about mainstreaming gender in 4 security sector institutions, namely the Ghana Armed Forces, the Ghana Prisons, Ghana Immigration, and Ghana Police. Basically, what we have done, first of all, was to train civil society organization, but targeting civil society organization that worked on gender issues, and try to train them, first of all, for them to have a broader understanding on what security sector is all about, for them to be able to engage these security institutions. We have completed 2 batches of training. The first training took place 2nd to 3rd of May and gathered 25 participants from 4 regions of Ghana: the Greater Accra region, the Volta region, the Central region, and the Ashanti region. So we just completed also the 2nd batch, which was from 27th of May to 28th, so we just finished yesterday, and it was a very fruitful and very productive 2 days training workshop for civil society organization. You will agree with me that women have been marginalized. Women's rights have been violated a lot. If you look at all these conflicts that we had in Africa, and in particular in West Africa, if you look at the Liberia conflict, the Sierra Leone conflict, you would agree with me that women have gone through a lot. Sexual and gender-based violence, mutilations of pregnant women during the war, rape, and other types of violations of women's rights. And this gender and SSR project that we are implementing is within the framework of the implementation of Resolution 1325. As you are aware, Resolution 1325 was adopted on October 2000 and advocate about the inclusion of more women in peace and security institutions, and also the involvement of more women in peace processes, and also the protection of women and girls against sexual and gender-based violence. So this will lead me to the second part of the gender and SSR training that gender and SSR project that we are trying to implement. The second part, after sensitizing civil society organization on how they will engage the security institutions, WPSN Africa has launched 4 studies that are currently going on. Each of the study will be to look at the gender gaps in terms of number of women in the security institution in terms of recruitment of female personnel, in terms of promotion, and in terms of procedures. What are some of the discriminatory procedures and policies that are in the 4 security institutions that we need to draw the attention of those authorities? So once those 4 studies will be completed, we are going to have consultative meeting with the 4 security institutions. We have already met with the Ministries of Defense, Ministry of Gender and Social Protection, and Ministry of Interior. So we are going to start the sensitization at the level of the 4 security institutions. We will teach them, train them on the 1325, on the importance, the need to have the rights of women and girls protected, the need also for the institution to open up for more women to join, and also not only for more women to join, but for them to allow more women to be at higher level positions. Because if you notice in these institutions, most of the female security personnel that are there are always at the lower level, whether in the admin sections or recruitment section. But it's rare that you see a female brigadier. I think in West Africa we have 2, one in Sierra Leone and one in Mali. So we basically hope that by the end of 2-year project on gender and SSR, WPSN Africa would have been able to impact on the policy. I'm saying impacting on the policy because that is what will make the action sustainable. So now a little bit on why WPSN Africa is joining today the AISSAT. We know that AISSAT is an association of organization that deals with training and education on security sector reform. And we at WPSN Africa, part of our job is to design training materials, to do advocacy, and to train people on issues related to women's rights and also gender-related issues. We have a long experience of developing training manual, but within this SSR project that we are going also to do, we are supposed to develop training materials and learn also and use also materials that have been developed before by other organizations. So by joining this network, we are hoping to broaden our knowledge, share our experience in the development of SSR materials, because we know in the network we have experts and we can benefit from this knowledge, and their knowledge on SSR also can enlighten us on the implementation of the project. And we also aim in joining this network to mainstream gender also in the activities of the network, because gender cuts across. It's very, very important. So what we've been doing in this training is that we try to sensitize them, to make them familiar, first of all, with the broader framework. What I say with the broader framework is that we try to expose them with the various instruments on women's and children's rights. You have, for instance, the conventions against for the discriminations against women, the CEDAW. You have, for instance, the Beijing Platform of Action, and you have also United Nations Security Council Resolution 1325 and 1820. So what we try to do, first of all, we familiarize them with those instruments, And after that, during the training, we meet sometimes a lot of resistance at the beginning. But as we set the context of the training, we set the tone, break down the issues, we always end up by getting the buy-in that we are waiting for them, the understanding on what the issues are. But between understanding what the issues are and applying the right rules, there is a difference. So I think in terms of mainstreaming gender in the security sector institutions, we will have also to exercise some patience, because security sector institutions have their own structures, their own ways of thinking. And I'm of the point of view that gradually we will be able to change the mindset and get people to abide by. It is not a process of enforcement, it's just a process of educating people to know what is right, what is wrong, how should they protect. It's about reminding people what their role is all about: protection.